Okay, could we therefore call it wastefulness? And let's take a relevant example. How does it apply then when vaccine nationalism is taking all the oxygen of the headlines at the moment?
So I think we'll probably stick to multilateralism because it's easier to say than wastefulness. But I think it's just a label. What we're talking about here is very simply a message that the transatlantic alliance, if you like, wants to get across to the rest of the world. And there are some things that really do need to be done multilaterally. So sustainability is one, and John Kelly was very keen to push the agenda that we have to start thinking in terms of more sustainability, and that's not just the climate, it's also these issues around inequality and social sustainability as well. And we've seen that very, very clearly in the COVID pandemic, because we've seen this retreat to economic nationalism, vaccine nationalism. There seems to be almost this competition in who can get the most people vaccinated, a little bit of vaccine hoarding. So there is a real sense that emerging markets and emerging economies are not getting access to the vaccine in the same way. There's been COVAX, and there was a real push behind saying, actually, if we all carry on like this, then we're not becoming multilateral. We're still being very economically nationalist. So if multilateralism is going to replace that globalization as a word, we have to address this almost paradoxical strategic challenge that we've got at the moment in economic terms, which is, on the one hand, we've got the rise of China and in a sort of revisionist state sense, the rise of Russia as well. And the West wants to maintain its economic power against that, because, as Jack says, we've got this all means type of conflict that's developing, strategic conflict, which means trade and economics as well as military conflicts. But then we also paradoxically need to bring the world back together again. And that's really the dynamic that's going to be focusing attention in foreign policy and in trade terms, because trade's absolutely central to that particular agenda. Trade over the Trump era became a tool of conflict. And I think what we're likely to see moving forward into this coming year is a lot more focus on technology and industrial policy as a means of coming to terms with both working together and isolating China.